It's my G Gaming. Welcome to this Riffview for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I believe a part of the Samurai Showdown series.
You damn kids, get off my mountaintop poppy field!
I kid. No, what we have here is another From Software gem that a lot of people are saying is more difficult than giving birth as a man. No, this is DoorDash. Did you order Subway? Where the entire argument for difficulty versus not difficulty comes from seems to be just how restrictive this Souls-like, if you will, from the masters of the genre at this point, feels compared to others. In Dark Souls, if you can't get around something with a sword, you have a bow, you have magic. In Bloodborne even, you have weapons and armor sets that you can play around with, but in Sekiro, you are hitting that wall as fast as you can. And that's it. You were just relying on the very precise parry system, which gives an unbelievable elation whenever you actually pull it off, but can leave you breaking your controller over your knee in the meantime, because any ladders for progression in regards to your character build are built upon a foundation of beating bosses, which is a catch-22 if you can't get by them. Wow, it's a 15th century Game Boy. Those are hand-hewn out of the skulls of their enemies. It's an interestingly narrow hallway that on one hand forces you to really focus on the reflexes, on the very small side tools that you have available. On the other hand, you can really get stuck in this game, and no amount of grinding until the 8th or 9th ending of the story is going to save you, effectively creating this knife's edge that you have to walk across for the entire game, which of course for some people is just more than they ever want to handle in a video game. There's a lot of anxiety to be had, even in the minutia of what you have to do to move ahead. I'm gonna make 13 herbs and spices out of your ass and then serve them to your wife. The enemies are mixed in their creativity. There are definitely some later game sections that are just horrifically good in all the right ways. But then you have early game enemies that kind of mix with late game enemies, and it just doesn't make sense. The progression doesn't seem to be fully there, which can pretty much be said for the bosses as well, but to a lesser extent, because the creativity just bounces from the screen with them. Haha, I've handled that riffraff nicely. Wait, you're just that last guy with a hat. What is this? Even inside of the context of a tighter bound Soulsian experience like Sekiro is, you're still looking at so much visceral brutality that the bosses can bring, and eventually do take that evolutionary level of upping and upping and upping, with a few repeats creating some hiccups. Circling back around to how you'll be killing those bosses, parry is God. Excuse me, young man, it looks like you have some blood on your neck. If you wouldn't— Ah, damn it, I always do that. Parry is love, parry is life. It is a pretty tight window where you have to tap on the shoulder button to smash away their attack. Some of them can come at you with overwhelming offense that tries to just break down your own stamina bar. But the vast majority will take a slow, measured, kind of 3 or 4 attack cycle that anyone who's played a From Software game in the past decade will know exactly what's coming. The difference being, health is secondary to poise. Once that poise bar gets all the way up, then you can do a killing blow, with some bosses taking 3 or 4 to really go down, with other bad boy shoguns or whatever else you'll be killing offering you a little bit of a shortcut. If you can get a high vantage point and drop down, you can automatically take off an entire freaking health bar. The samurai rests. Where does a samurai sleep? Not seppuku your— I have to get better. My stand-up routine is tomorrow. Sekiro was made to be a little too restrictive for what I would like as far as a pure, unadulterated, meaty Dark Souls experience. But it also is not a Dark Souls game, so it is what it is. I ended up beating it, and through every single boss, I cannot deny how just orgasmic that last strike felt. Ooh, my boss arena senses tingling. From Software has taught us that one of the most important factors in their game, if not the most important factor, is the world. The world here meaning characters, NPCs, the actual environment, and of course environmental storytelling. I think they dropped the ball a little bit here in some places and a lot of bit in others. The world itself is gorgeous. It's wonderful. It's crafted, but if not a little samey, you will be going back to some areas with some palette swaps. It's just not exactly the sprawling adventure. On the other hand, that does serve the level design well because everything is folded on top of itself. So it's just a matter of which apple you want to pick from that bushel. My lowest point for Sekiro comes with the character stories, the NPCs. There are maybe 2 to 3 that you hear a substantial amount regarding, and the rest are swept under the rug without any of the rewards such as lore or even item variation that you would expect in that kind of situation, and that we've become used to in a Pavlovian sort of way. And that's one of the main things that holds Sekiro back from the Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne echelon into just a pretty darn good game.
Money shot!
Oh, yeah. An 8 out of 10 for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which I'm sure From Software will be crying themselves to sleep over. Speaking of sleep, that's all for this episode. See you guys next time. Bye.